How does a gamer use the Rodecaster Pro 2? I don't know because I'm not a gamer. I use the Rodecaster Pro 2 in the original Rodecaster Pro for audio, clean audio, podcasting, and also in my recording studio. But I was able to speak to a gamer, Last Curry. He is a YouTuber, and I just wanted to find out exactly what these gamers do with the Rodecaster Pro 2. So here's the conversation I had with Last Curry. Let's check it out.
Yeah, for
I am
sure.
here with Last Curry. So you have the Rodecaster Pro 2. You've never had the original Rodecaster, correct?
Right.
Okay. And how long have you had it for?
Since launch. So I think when it came out, June
Like
15 or something like that, or I think so.
something
Yeah.
like
So
that.
since launch, yeah, I pre-ordered it. So I got it on launch.
Okay. And
Yeah.
what's your experience with it thus far?
I mean, man, look, I am literally loving it. Like I can't even it's so different. Like I said, I was going from an analog, right? Just no digital kind of input, to having kind of an interface like the Rodecaster that can control everything that I'm doing, audio wise, to the point of it's just pretty much streamlined everything that I'm doing. And with doing live streaming and content creation, being able to have sound effects, to be able to add more excitement into the stream, being able to have Bluetooth calls for people to call in to ask questions on stream, being able to just control every aspect of my audio has been a game changer. Because before, with the analog, I can only adjust the actual microphone input, and that was pretty much it.
That's
Everything
right.
else had to be done manually on the computer. So it's just streamlined like audio management to another level.
Why don't you give us a little background on who you are and what is it
Yeah.
that you do?
Yeah, sure. So I pretty much focus on teaching primarily gamers how to be able to live stream, to build a community, and ultimately generate income to turn their passion into something that they can do full time. That way they can create content and make an impact with the people that they want to go ahead and impact in their lives. So I pretty much spend 90% of my time creating content on tutorials on how to use OBS, Streamlabs, the gear, microphones, cameras, and just ways for you to be able to market yourself and brand yourself as a content creator in this space. So that's what I ultimately do full time.
Before you got the Rodecaster Pro 2, what was your setup? I mean, did you have
Yeah.
like an analog audio interface, like something like a Scarlett or, a Presonus audio
Yeah.
interface? How did you set
So
everything up?
so pretty much for my audio, I had a Behringer Q802. Is what I actually utilized to be able to handle my microphone input. And then as far as like the camera and things of that sort, I was using Elgato Cam Link. And then as far as lighting goes, again, it's Elgato, but microphone, literally, that was pretty much it. And then anything else that I wanted to manage audio wise, I did directly inside of OBS. So it was very kind of simplified, but also not as efficient as it currently is right now. But that's what I was using, and it worked perfectly fine for as long as possible. And then when I saw the there was nothing wrong with the setup, but then when I saw the Rodecaster, I was like, okay, this is kind of game changer. They're kind of marketing this to gamers and streamers, and I want to see kind of what this is going to be able to do for us. So, but that was the setup originally.
Have you checked out, any other podcasting devices like the Rodecaster Pro 2? Or when you saw this one, you were like, hey, I'm getting this, period?
Yeah, that's kind of way. So this will be my first experience with something digital like this. And when I looked at it, of course, you do your research when you're looking to make a purchase like that, and you look at other devices. But when I looked at it, I was like, okay, Rodecaster has been in the space for many years, right? The Rodecaster Pro 1 was very, very successful in there. And then kind of going back and looking at the Rodecaster Pro 1 of how it was utilized. And I was like, wow, like it's good quality gear. And people have only said good things about it. And people are still able to utilize it now going forward. So I was just like, might as well just, if I'm going to jump into this pool of just switching my gear up, I might as well go Rode. And then I was like, let me just go with their new one. At the time when I was searching, they had recently just released the one. I think it was like in 12 days, they made the announcement like, hey, we're dropping Rodecaster. Because I was ready to pull the trigger on the one, and I actually did. Got it delivered, and then I had to send it back. I'm messaging Amazon like, yo, I got to send this back. Like this, I want to get the new one. And so, yeah, it was the first time, and I thought it was going to be something that was going to be very challenging to be able to utilize. Just not having the experience of using something like this, I was like, man, this is probably going to have to watch a lot of videos. But it was very intuitive. And I think that's one of the things that I enjoyed about it. that it was easy to set up.
Since you've gotten the Rodecaster Pro 2, your audio is recorded through the Rodecaster Pro 2?
Yeah, through the Rodecaster Pro 2, and I use the Rode Pod mic as the microphone to be able to record. But yeah, I would say that the last since I've gotten it, it's been only thing I use for audio production, whether it be live or recorded.
Walk me through your gaming streaming setup with the Rodecaster Pro 2.
Yeah, so with the Rodecaster, this is something that I really enjoy. So I utilize it not only to be able to manage my primary microphone. I use it to be able to manage the music that I pull into my computer as well. And then I also go ahead and utilize it to manage chat like Discord. So if I'm talking to a community, to my Discord community, I'm able to chat with them. I'm able to pull in music and control it from there. I'm able to use it for sound effects, which I use it a lot for the voice effects as well. Yeah. So it's really become like something that's allowed me to level up the engagement in my live content, because using the voice changer, of course, as a different dynamic, being able to have custom sounds, like things that the community itself knows, like sayings that we would say, or like I say a lot, together we all can thrive. So not having to repeat that over and over again, being able to plug that in as a sound effect, and then being able to now, and I know we'll probably get to it, but there are some things that I wish were included in it, but for the most part, that's how I kind of utilize it. And then I also use it for call-ins. I use it a lot to take some just normal phone calls and be able to change my voice. But for calls in as well inside the stream when people are asking questions. So that's kind of in a nutshell how I utilize it. There's not many devices plugged into the back of it. Pretty much it's just going to be my primary microphone, my shotgun microphone, and then the two USB cables that go directly into the computer. And then that's pretty much it. And of course, my headphones to be able to monitor. That's pretty much all I have connected.
Now, do you use, because obviously with the Rodecaster Pro 2, you can have your audio, your vocals, right, connected to one computer, and then your gaming device connected to another computer, and have the Rodecaster Pro connected to two computers. So are you doing that, or are you doing some other sort of setup?
So as far as the setups go, because I don't game on the computer, I actually just utilize the computer for just strictly live streaming. And then I have a console that I use for the actual gaming. So what I do is that in the Elgato capture card, there's an inline cable that you can utilize to be able to pull in audio. So that is something that I do have connected directly into the Rodecaster Pro to give me one more audio interface inside of OBS to be able to manage game volume of the game itself. But I only have it connected to one single PC right now, because I only sit here to just simply take calls, or to be able to go ahead and record or live stream. And then everything else straight on Mac, 100%.
You have the Rodecaster Pro 2. You love it. It sounds like you love it.
Yeah, I do.
So what are some things you don't like about the Rodecaster Pro 2?
So it is pretty massive. I'll tell you that. I think that is, I mean, I love the fact that they did put the to be able to put it on a mic arm, because that's what I have it on. Yeah, to be able to get it off the desk, so that was pretty cool that the Rodecaster Pro 1 didn't have. But it is a massive size. So that if for one thing for me is like, if they can do something more compact, for streamers and gamers, something a little bit more compact, that would be so much better. Another thing, I would definitely love to be able to have one more virtual output, simply because I would love to be able to manage the music from there, as opposed to having to utilize the same computer audio and having that mix in there. So that, and then the fact that it doesn't have sub mixes. So those are the things that I'm missing, to be able to go ahead and maneuver. And sometimes when I'm playing the game, you have people talking to you, and then you're also listening to music. So being able to sometimes lower the volume of the people that are inside of your headset or coming in, to be able to move it. So like, if I could do something like 80-20 and something I can preset it to be this for the sub mixes, it would be so much better to have those kind of adjustments. So those are the kind of things at the beginning. Of course, a routing table was something that was huge for me after reading, but they've now released it, right? They've now released it since then. But it was just like, so I don't really have because I don't have so much, I didn't use like the Rodecaster Pro 1, I didn't experience some of the limitations that it may have had compared to what the Rodecaster Pro 2 has now. But for me personally, those would be the three big things that I would love to be able to see. Of course, the virtual another virtual input, and then sub mixes 100%. And then of course the size, but we're kind of stuck with the size for the time being. But those are the only things that I didn't like about them. I like about it right now that it's just lacking for me.
Now, when you say submixes, is that something that gamers, want because they have so many different things going on at the same time?
Right, because you think about it, right? If we have Discord going, that's one chat coming in. Then we have the game chat coming in, so talking to the people in the game or just hearing the game volume. Then you're talking about bringing in the music that's coming in as well. So it's just a lot of moving parts that if you can control that kind of inside of the, when I lower here, that it should go ahead and automatically adjust the volume. If we can set it up in the Rode Central app to just be a predefined set, then it would go ahead and do it. But yeah, for 100%, it's because of just a lot of the moving audio parts that are in there when it comes to gaming and streaming.
You really got to dig deep and really figure out how this thing works because it is super powerful. That's why I think that most people aren't going to need this because it's super powerful. It's for people like you who do serious gaming. It's for people like me. It's advanced, right?
Right.
I think all that stuff you're talking about is built into the system, dude.
Already. So see, and I just gotta dive deeper into it to be able to figure it out. Yeah. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
How would you rate the Rodecaster Pro 2? I mean, you've had it for a little over a month. How would you rate it?
I mean, like I said, because I don't have nothing really else to compare it to, I'm comparing analog to the Rodecaster. It's not really a comparison. So, for me, at the end of the day, as a first time user of it, I'm 100% pleased with it. Right. So, like I said, the only thing that I would not give it a 10 is just the size. I wish it was a little bit more compact. That's the only thing that I wish it was a little bit more compact. But for the most part, if I were rating it, I would definitely give it a 10 out of 10 from my aspect of it, because it's not really, it's just been a level up. I think that when coming from utilizing the Behringer Q8 to just handling my audio through there, to getting the Rodecaster Pro, it's just been like leaps, not just a modification. I think maybe for you probably feel a little bit different, right? Where it's just like you went from the Rodecaster Pro 1 to kind of the Rodecaster Pro 2. And then there are some differential factors on there, but how do you experience it based off of it being, those two there that you've experienced both?
Again, I have a recording studio. I'm a music producer, so I have big stuff, right?
Yeah.
The original Rodecaster is bigger than the Rodecaster Pro 2.
Okay, yeah.
This is smaller. So people who've had the Rodecaster Pro, the original one, and we get the second one, we're like, wow, this is small.
Okay, right? Gotcha, yeah.
But like you said, you can put it on a desktop arm, get it out, get it off the desk. That
has been crucial, yeah.
I was actually a little taken back by the size because, again, you're with the Rodecaster Pro 2, Rode took a fader away. So now we only have 6 faders opposed to 7, right? But they have this internal routing because everything's done on like a Linux platform and everything else. I actually like the form factor. I like how slick it is. I like how intelligent it is. And what Rode is going to do with this, because it's on a Linux platform, they have the ability to update this and give you whatever you want. And Rode is very good with taking people's comments and making the system better, making their device better. So if you say, hey, I want this, and then other people say, I want this, they'll include it.
They'll make it happen. Yeah.
They'll make it happen.
Wow.
So it's again, I thought it was small because we're missing a fader. So
So it's a different experience,
right? But I was like, it's small, but it's so powerful, so I'm okay with that. And like I said, I'm keeping the Rodecaster Pro 2 and the original Rodecaster because
use both.
I can use both of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Would you recommend the Rodecaster Pro 2 to gamers, streamers, podcasters, YouTubers? These are people who may not even understand this device.
To be able to understand it. Now, one of the biggest purchases in the gaming space is a Go XLR, right? So a Go XLR is kind of, they're about $150 maybe difference in price range. So, a lot of times I do get asked like, hey, should I get the Go XLR? And for the additional 150, it's worth getting the Rodecaster Pro 2 over
Yeah.
the Go XLR. So that's kind of like, I would recommend it. But at the end of the day, I don't think that there is a lot of nowadays with gamers, XLR mics are everything, right? It's just like you're not really using a USB mic. So most of the time they're gonna go for like a Scarlett. It's also something that's highly utilized.
Yeah.
And of course that's way less than a Go XLR, but the Go XLR has been the gaming kind of mixer to be able to utilize. And now with Beacon dropping their mix crate as well, it's also been a balance. But I would recommend this to a streamer and to a gamer. Maybe not to somebody who's more of like a hobbyist, like maybe it's just like kind of like overkill for someone who's just kind of getting started. This wouldn't be like a first purchase, in your gear. But I would recommend it over the Go XLR. Because I've used the Go XLR before, not me personally, but I've tested it. We use it at a church that I do, and it's just completely different utilizing this than the Go XLR for sure.
Okay, now here's a off-topic question. I
Yeah.
was listening to your inspirational podcast, right?
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Dude, when are you gonna kick that back up? Because
You
that joint
see,
was like pretty slick.
oh yeah, I was enjoying that. So that actually
Mhm,
kicked off the day that I quit my job to go full time on this journey,
mhm.
and I decided to go ahead and start, documenting the process of just like where my mind was at, the challenges I was facing, and it really 100% was getting a lot of traction. And then one day I just was like, all right, this got to go. I was just like, it's too much, and it was like literally 5 to 7 minute shows that I was doing. But
Yep.
funny enough, this last Thursday I was sitting there and I was like talking about the podcast, and I'm actually going to launch the podcast now next week. But it's going to change, and kind of the format's going to change a little bit. We're still going to be focusing on mindset, but it's called The Real Climb. And the journey here is to go ahead and interview mid-tier or creators who are being successful or seeing wins, whether that be on platforms like TikTok, on YouTube, or just streaming and content creation as a whole, and allowing them to be able to share their story of their climb, and the challenges they face, to hopefully inspire new creators to get involved and just know that it's possible, right? I think there's a difference of having somebody who's already made it to the top, but somebody who's on the rise, who's winning, but not already at the top. It's just something about being able to relate, to know like maybe they're on step 10, I'm on step 1, but I can get to step 10, but I may not
Right.
be able to get right now to step 100. But podcast, man, and doing and just having conversations like this is something I truly enjoy. But it's pretty cool that you listen to it, man. I love that. I love
Listen, I
that.
got to do my homework. I was like, wait
Yeah,
a
yeah.
minute, my man has a like crispy video channel because, like I told you, your videos are crispy. Then I was like,
I
what else is
appreciate
he
it.
doing? I went to your website. I see you're
Yeah,
selling different things for gamers, and then I went
yeah,
to Apple and saw the podcast. I was like, oh, okay,
yeah,
my man is working here, you know. So that's
yeah,
pretty cool.
yeah,
When you
man.
do
Trying
your
to.
podcast now,
Mhm.
are you going to use the Rodecaster Pro 2? Because with the
Oh, yeah,
Rodecaster Pro 2, if you're doing a podcast, you can set up your smart pads, right, to have different
mhm,
sounds, different sort of vocal changes. You can connect the Bluetooth to your iPhone or your phone.
right.
Then you can have your music in the background.
Yeah,
Then when you download everything from like the Rode Central app, everything is separate. You can go and do your post
mm,
production if you want to. It's
yeah.
an all in one
You
device. So before we get up
excited
out of
about it.
here, why don't you let everyone know about your YouTube channel, all your
Sure.
socials?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So you could find me at Last Curry everywhere on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. On my YouTube channel, I focus more on tutorial content, teaching you the basics of live streaming, teaching you how to use the software, the gear, how to get set up so you can start delivering your message, whether that be through gaming or through the things that inspire you and make you passionate. And then on my Instagram, that's where I share a little bit, go a little bit deeper, give you a little more behind the scenes look of my family, the things I enjoy doing, give you a little bit of motivation. And then on my TikTok, that's where I share a little bit more of kind of like my faith and just going a little bit deeper into like gaming. That's where I use that platform. And of course, with the podcast now, looking to focus heavily on mindset and just giving people the motivation to understand that we all have a gift and we should learn how to harness that gift to be able to teach people and help others succeed. So, but Last Curry is where you can find me everywhere on socials. And it's been a pleasure being here today for sure.
I will leave links in the show description to everything. Last Curry, thanks for hopping on.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Hey, I appreciate it.
Thanks for watching. Until next time, peace. And don't forget to check out our t-shirts on Amazon, exclusively on Amazon. We have some really great designs. It helps the channel out. And you receive your t-shirt in 2 days. 2 days. Order on Amazon, receive your t-shirts in 2 days, help the channel out, and leave a comment. Until next time, peace.